Hello and welcome to the Untypical Parent Podcast. Today we have a bit of a special episode. It is our 1 year anniversary. I can't believe it. It's been a year. Today I have got with me two very special people that I have asked onto the podcast to come and talk to me for the anniversary. And for two very special reasons, they are very special. So first of all, there is Charlotte Mountford from Badger Education has come to join me today. Welcome, Charlotte.
Thanks, good to be here.
It's been a year since you were last on the podcast, and Charlotte was my very, very first podcast guest. She was really brave when I sent her a message and said, "Fancy being on my podcast?" And I hadn't even put it out there yet. And she said yes. So she kicked off the Untypical Parent Podcast. And then I've also got the lovely Sam Parkin from Something Profound who's joining us today because also Sam saw something in the podcast very, very early on and became the first sponsor of the podcast, which blew me away and also helped to get the podcast out there and get things started and get things like the mics and all that kind of stuff. So Sam and Charlotte are both really, really important to me when it comes to the podcast. So welcome, Sam.
Hello, thank you.
This is your first time on the podcast.
It is, yes. It's my first time on any podcast other than my little ramblings.
Well, we're going to look after you. We're going to look after you.
I know you will.
I think today could go in any direction, I think, between the three of us. We're not sure where it's going to go. I have told them both I have a structure to try and keep us on track, but we could go anywhere. And I think that probably sums up very well what it's like to be maybe an untypical parent. Even when I think about it this morning, like this afternoon, we've been slightly delayed recording, haven't we, Sam?
We have, yes.
In true untypical parent style. What happened to you this morning?
So, well, I was at the hospital and planning to have a nice relaxing afternoon, come back, get myself all prepared. But Lizzie didn't get up for school for the school bus this morning, and it was right bang on the time when we were going to start doing the podcast. She wanted taken to school. So, and that is a daily occurrence in this house.
Yeah, yeah, I think we can probably all relate to that one. And I'm my morning this morning has meant that I have decided that I've got my t-shirt on, my typically untypical t-shirt. Charlotte's got hers on. Sam made these. But what I'm glad everyone can't see is that I have got a very strange attire going on. So I was cold, so I've got a fluffy cardigan on. I've then got my jogging bottoms underneath, and I've got my Crocs on the bottom. So it's probably best for an audio podcast rather than a visual. Sam's got a blanket.
Heat blanket.
Brilliant, brilliant. So we're starting as we mean to go on, untypically. Um, just a little bit about the podcast and where it came from. So originally, the Untypical Parent podcast began because I was aware that there are a lot of us out there doing things in an untypical way. And it's been really tough at times being untypical and doing it in an untypical way. And what I wanted to do is give a voice to that, but also to help parents and carers in neurodivergent families feel less alone. And that's where it kind of came from. It started as the Untypical OT podcast. I very quickly realised no one had a clue what OT meant. So scrap that and put parent in. And it's now changed to the Untypical Parent podcast. And it's now been, as I say, nearly a year. Charlotte, what made you say yes to being my first guest?
I mean, it was a mixture of things, but I was thinking about this, and I think the biggest thing for me was that I've never felt like I found anyone who really gets what parenting for me is like. And I think you kind of have that assumption, don't you, when you're pregnant, that somewhere along the line you're going to meet all these mum friends, and that's talked about so much, like the mum friends. And I went along to various different groups when ours were little, mainly because I needed the entertainment. Like I couldn't just stay in the house all day. That is not suitable for me. So I'd go along to these things and I'd be like, oh, maybe here I'll meet someone who's like on the same wavelength or does things the same way or understands what I'm moaning about when something's difficult. Or then, they start at school and you think, oh, maybe at the school gates I'm going to meet someone who kind of gets it. And don't get me wrong, I've met plenty of lovely families, people, we have made friends from those various situations, some friendships that have lasted and some don't, that's how things go. But I remember actually when, as we're quite little, putting a post on Facebook saying, I wish I could wear a head cam for a day because then people might understand what my life is like. And I still feel like that quite a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I don't think people really understand when I say things that like that is genuinely what's going on in my household. And
Sometimes
I
you
think
can't
that
make it. You can't
aspect,
even make it up, can you? You think if I made
yeah.
this, if I said this, people would think, oh, you're making this up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people just would genuinely think that's not true. Um, and so that kind of like untypical look at parenting just really interested me. Just like, yeah, I'd love to say my bit because maybe there's someone else out there who is in a really similar situation who thinks, oh, okay, it's not just me. Or maybe just little snippets like sound familiar to people, but it's that touch point, isn't it? Of, oh, there is someone else who kind of gets it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what happened then was after Charlotte had been on the podcast, you kind of sent me a message, didn't you, after that
Yeah.
saying it was a bit like blind dating, I almost felt. I've got this person that likes you. And I was like, oh, it's like being back at school. And that person was Sam. And you introduced us. So kind of between you and Sam and me, we got that introduction. And Sam came forward and said, I would love to sponsor the podcast. And Sam, what kind of made you want to sponsor the podcast? What brought you there?
When I was listening to, especially, so Charlotte was the reason that I came over because I knew Charlotte from the Northern Lass Lounge.
Yeah.
So, and I love a podcast. So I was like, oh, right, I'm going to listen to what Charlotte's got to say. And then I was like, oh, I like what Liz has got to say. And then I am that parent, Charlotte. I am that person that's like, you say this to your friend, and they're like, you did what?
Yeah.
Okay. That's, you don't do that then, okay.
Yeah.
And you just feel really awkward. And now I listen to your podcast all the time. Like I've just literally listened to your last podcast coming home in the car, feeling like stressed out because I've been running here, there, and everywhere. And it's like, oh, it's okay. There are other people out there that feel the same way. And you've just got to roll with the punches, but sometimes it's hard.
Yeah.
Your podcast is there for me, for Charlotte, for everybody.
Yeah. Oh, I'm really pleased to hear that. And I think I really try to get a really broad spectrum of guests on that bring lots of different, just to show that nobody has got it absolutely perfectly pinned. And I think it was one of the episodes with Heidi was talking about actually how there are times when she feels Holly Maver. She talks about feeling, it was in a meeting, I think she talked about, and feeling really overwhelmed in a meeting. And when you see Heidi and hear her talk, she's so confident. You think, I don't, really? She feels it too. And I think
Yeah.
that's what was really important to me was trying to show this whole breadth of different parents. And actually, even those ones that look like they've kind of got it, we really don't.
Yeah.
That's really kind of that's what I hope the podcast would bring. Um, if I was to ask you to, so maybe start with Charlotte, what does an untypical parent look like to you? What is an untypical parent, Charlotte?
I mean, that's a really tricky one. So I have also listened to like all your episodes. I love it when one of your episodes drops. And I think what's come across to me throughout the year is that actually, like, you've had loads of people on whose parenting and families probably look nothing like mine,
Mm,
but there are still things you can take away from each one. And I think it's given me even more understanding of like when you pass that, I don't know, that person in the street who's having a tough time, you have no concept of what's going on behind that. When you see someone on social media putting out, whether it's their business, whether it's like parenting on social media, whatever it be, there is a million things going on behind every single one of those posts, and no one's got it perfectly lined up. Nobody. Um, and I think for me, that untypical parenting is actually being brave enough to step away from all that like advice, from that, this is the way you should be doing it, even from those things that you thought you were always going to do as a parent, and actually being able to go, do you know what? That's not going to work for us. And being brave enough to just figure out your own way. And
Yeah.
some days that might go better than others. And some days I'm sure all of us have gone, oh, we've got it. This is going to work now. And then you try the same thing the next day and it doesn't work ever again. But yeah, just being prepared to go, do you know what? I'm going to try and do it different and see what works for us. Let's figure that out. There isn't a bloody guidebook. The
No.
number of books I've got from the library and bought when they were little. I remember Gina Ford. I can't
Oh
remember,
God, yeah.
but there were other ones, weren't there? And being like, this is going to solve all my problems. And none of them bloody did. There isn't a guidebook to kids. They're all different. And there isn't a guidebook to how you handle stuff as the parent either. Yeah, so you just have to be brave to go, this is what I'm going to try, and I'll see if it works for us. And if it doesn't, I'll look for something else or I'll figure something else out.
It is brave,
And
that, isn't it? Go on.
yeah, and also I think being brave, and it's definitely now as we're older, but being brave to say to them, look, actually, we're just trying our best too. I don't know if this is going to work for us. I don't know how we solve that. But actually, I think that's really powerful for them to see that. And I
Mm.
never saw that in my parents. My parents would never have turned around to me when I was little and said, we don't know what to do here, or we don't know how this is going to go. But I think it's actually really helpful to be honest about that with your kids and go, we're just trying. We're trying our best and let's figure it out together.
Yeah.
Because I kind of hope if they're ever parents, that'll feel more comfortable for them then to know actually my parents didn't have it all sorted,
Mm.
but we got here and we're all okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Sam, do you ever, what's your kind of idea? What does an untypical parent look like to you? One
I
of
don't
us
know
three, I
what
presume.
I don't know what I can add on to what Charlotte said because that's pretty much. I
Summed
feel
it up.
like the untypical parent is somebody who is willing to go away from the social norms to do what's best for their child and their family. And as long as you're trying, that's all you can hope for.
Can be really scary sometimes though as well, can't it?
Taking Lizzie out of school, I took her out of school, and that was petrifying. And the only reason I did that was because I was getting pushed from pillar to post about education other than not AHCP, education,
EATOS.
EATOS, that's it,
Yeah.
yeah. And school was saying it was SIPs that dealt with it, and SIPs was saying it was school, and I just went, I've had enough. I can't do this
Mm.
anymore. I can do a better job putting my energy into helping her learn than being on the phone with you people that are
Yeah. You
me.
think the amount of time that you end up doing that, actually, I could be directing this somewhere else. But it's
Yeah.
really brave, like Charlotte said, and it's scary to make those decisions to do things in an untypical way, that this isn't the norm. And I'm going to have to do things differently for my kids. And that's not what people are telling me I should be doing. People are telling me it should look like this. And that's brave and it's scary and it's frightening and also liberating in a way as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I have got a bit of a quick fire round for you. So you don't have to go into huge amounts of detail, but kind of maybe the first thing that comes to mind when you hear some of these things. So who wants to go first? You can swap it around. It doesn't have to be Charlotte every time.
This would be Charlotte.
Yeah. Should we start with Charlotte, Sam, and then you can watch Charlotte go and then see what she does?
Yeah.
And then decide whether you want to go first next time. So we're going to do a quick fire round. Okay. I've got these written down. So you're going to have to excuse me if you're watching on YouTube and you see me keep glancing off. I cannot remember all these written words. My dyslexia will not let me do it. Okay. So, Charlotte, what one word would you use to describe your parenting this year?
Lazy, probably lazy.
Lazy. I don't even believe that, but go on.
Because we've got to a kind of point where, like, we can just be a little bit less on it all the time. Like, it's not lazy, but it's just actually, and now I've said it out loud, so it'll probably all go to shit. But we're at a point where things are pretty balanced, and so you can just
Yeah.
sit back a little bit more and kind of just see where everything's going rather than feeling like you've got to be doing something all of the time. So
Yeah.
I guess it feels a bit lazy compared to, yeah, where we have been.
Yeah. All right, then, Sam, over to you. What one word would you describe to your
Chaos.
parenting? Chaos. Why is chaos, Sam?
Oh, well, I've got one at uni doing
Yeah.
musical theatre, and I've got one who's now back in school, and obviously struggling to get there. So life is just, I never know where I'm going to be. And I never know which one I'm going to be parenting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do I need to put on today?
Yeah. I think mine's probably messy. I think it doesn't look, it's never kind of clean and organized, my parenting. It is messy, but we kind of somehow get there each time. I don't know how, but we kind of do sometimes make it across the line. Everyone's still alive at the end of the day. They've eaten, they've been fed, they've been watered, and those kind of feel like the main things. But messy would probably be quite a good word I would use for me at the minute. Okay, next quick fire round then question. Charlotte, what sensory tool could you not live without? I can see something in your hand already.
Yeah, so I was thinking about this, and I don't know if you count it as a sensory tool, but for me, it's running. It's getting
Yeah.
outdoors and running. Like, I
Yeah.
cannot function if I can't get out there. And it's not every day, but like probably 3 times a week. And it's that whole thing. It's being outside, it's being by myself, it's definitely that movement and repetition. It just calms my brain down, it shuts everything up. So I don't know if you count that as a sensory
No, you can
tool.
have that sensory
Okay,
activity. That's
awesome.
absolutely fine. We'll let that one go. That's perfect. Because my one's probably motorbiking, so I would have that one as
Yeah.
well.
And
Yeah.
if I don't get out and do it, then my mood just
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah.
Like, if I
Yeah. Yeah.
can't, if I'm injured, whatever, then I know that life is not going to be good.
Yeah. And I think that was really interesting because Sam, I don't know whether you can relate to this one, but I think with the kind of more chronic illness side of stuff, for me, mine was always sport was a big thing that I used to help with my sensory stuff, my mood, all that kind of stuff. And I lost all of that, I think, when the diagnosis for me came along and things got too difficult. And I know that that's something that you experienced as well with the kind of more chronic illness side of things, is I felt like I lost a load of sensory stuff, but I don't know. Have you kind of got a sensory go-to that kind of chills you out and really helps?
Well, this came on mine and Charlotte's trip with us.
What is that? But we've got to describe it because there'll be some people that are just listening. It
Well,
looks like an eye mask,
it is an eye mask.
but
So some
it with
people say it
bees on
looks,
it.
yeah, some people say it looks like a sanitary towel, but it's not.
Well, I wasn't going to be that rude, Sam, but now you've said it.
So I've got a funny thing about fabrics.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
especially when I'm going to bed. So when me and Charlotte were away, I had this in bed. Do you remember I lost it between the beds?
Yeah.
And because I like the fabric, and then I suck my tongue at the same time. And no matter what's going on, no matter how stressed I am, if I can go and like get myself 10 minutes quiet peace and with my little fabric and
So you don't use that as an eye mask?
no.
It's the texture of the fabric. And what did you say? You suck your tongue.
Yeah.
How do you suck at your tongue?
Go.
I'm trying to do it in my mouth. Oh, so
That.
you can't see this. I would recommend if you're listening, go watch this on YouTube. I'm not even sure I can describe that.
I've done it all my life, and then
Wow.
when I was younger, so how I was never picked up as being neurodiverse in some way, I don't know, but I got always told to stop it, and like I would get flicked and stop it, and
Oh,
then I got hypnotized to stop when I was going to high school, and then I started again like after high school, and I just thought, oh, you know what, this is just me. I don't care.
did the hypnotizing work?
It did, yeah, but I think it was along with the fear of being
Mm.
picked on.
Ah, yeah, 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 yeah.
So
It's the social pressure.
yeah. Whereas then as I got older, I was just like, oh, you know what? I don't care. My husband doesn't care, so he's the one that's got to sleep next to me.
Yeah. Is it only when you go to sleep?
So when I get tired, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, like a self-soothing thing.
yeah.
Well, I've learned something today. I'm not going to ask you to do it again. It's okay. Okay, next quick fire round question. Who wants to go first? Do you want to mix it up, Charlotte?
I don't mind. I don't
Yeah.
mind either way.
Should we go you, Sam?
Go on then.
What's been the best moment about being a parent in the last year?
Oh, taking Lizzie to Italy, 100%.
Ooh,
She came out of her shell so much, and she was like, she's got a germ phobia. She was shaking people's hands, you know, like how
wow.
as in the restaurants, and she was trying new foods, and it really made me feel like, why do I not live in Italy?
Yeah.
Just
How
super.
did that come about, Sam? How did you get, why Italy?
So, I have Italian heritage.
I was going to say your surname slightly gives it away, but
So Jacopazzi is my maiden name, and my dad had actually never been to Italy, and so my mum passed away just over a year ago, and I was like, we've got to go, we've got to go, and so we took him, and it was just brilliant.
oh wow. And she just had an amazing time. You
Yeah.
get moments like that, don't you? When you take them away or you do something that you think possibly this could be really tricky and they just suddenly they just fly and you just think, oh, if I could just kind of bottle that and every so often just let the top off and just experience it all over again would just be so amazing. Oh, I'm so pleased you got that. Charlotte, what about you? What's been your best moment?
Well, talking of new experiences, this was not my best moment at all. This was possibly one of my worst moments of the year. So when we went to Disney, our middle one doesn't, he loves movement, but he's always wary of new experiences. So he loves some roller coasters, but like the visual of a big roller coaster will put him right off.
Yeah.
So in one of the parks, you went straight in and there was a massive roller coaster, like the first thing you came across, and he was just like, no, I am not doing that. Fine, no problems. And I spent the day like gently coaxing him and talking to him about maybe he could try a big roller coaster. And, I didn't like the sitting and waiting for it, but I always like them once they go. And I thought he would like the proprioception and whatever. Anyway, so I eventually, yeah, he agreed he would do one with us. Um, so we queued up for this one. And as we were moving through the queue, there were all these signs about how this coaster traversed with you upside down,
Ugh.
which
That
I
makes
was
me.
immediately like, I don't want to do this anymore,
Oh
but I've
no!
talked you into this, so I've got to. And then as we got closer, it didn't have like the full harness that I was expecting. It just had a lap bar. So I was shitting my pants because I was like, I ain't gonna feel safe on this going upside down with only a lap bar. And however much you tell your brain, it's got to be safe. Like they couldn't run it if
Yeah.
it wasn't safe. My brain was just on fire. Anyway, he hadn't noticed any of this, so I was like, okay, I don't know what to do here. Okay, we'll chance it. And he and I ended up sitting next to each other, just the two of us in a row. I was like, this is a bad combo because I ain't going to be any help to you.
Oh my God.
Anyway, suffice to say, we both absolutely hated it.
Oh no, I thought you were going to say you loved it.
No, absolutely hated it. You were upside down probably for less than 10 seconds, but you knew you were moving upside down. Whereas he's okay if you kind of spiral upside down, but it's just a quick thing. Anyway, he absolutely hated it. It was all my fault, obviously. I mean, to be fair, it was my fault.
Yeah, sounds like it was, Charlotte.
Anyway, so that wasn't my greatest moment with new experiences, but we got over it. It was all okay.
I love that. Well,
But I
you
don't
made me
know
feel
what
sick
I
talking
don't know
about
what my
that.
best parenting moment this year's been, really. I mean, the youngest has transitioned to high school so far smoothly, which I think is like a massive win.
Yeah.
I think in general, it is. I don't know if you guys have had it, but sometimes you just get moments in time where you kind of step back from things and think, do you know what? even 6 months ago, we couldn't have been doing whatever. Like, it doesn't have to be anything big, but just, and we've had quite a few of those this year, just kind of actually we've come so far. And it's not like one particular thing. It's just when you get to have that minute to stand back and just think, my God, like 3 months ago, they wouldn't have accepted that, or they wouldn't have managed that situation, or yeah. And I just think that's been really, really nice just to kind of go,
Yeah.
do you know what? We've come so far. And even when it feels like tiny steps at the time, when you kind of look back over it, it's like, oh my God, like that's added up to something, yeah, really
I think
important.
when you're in it, it's really hard, isn't it, to see that? I think when you're in the day to day of it and it's hard and it's tough, and like you say, very often we don't have a lot of time. And when we do get those moments, we're often filmed with something else. But to actually be able to step back and go, do you know what? We've come such a long way, and
Yeah.
things are so different. It's still tough because I think
Yeah.
life as untypical parents and families, it's gonna be. But actually, I just think maybe probably most families is tough. But to be able to step back and have a look at that and go, yeah, do you know what? We've come a long way. I was thinking about my favourite parenting moment, and I've got kind of my favourite parenting moment is kind of a general thing that I have is I love hearing my boys laugh, like real proper belly laughing. And I think we had a time when my youngest was so poorly with his mental health. There was not a lot of laughter in our house. And now every time I hear them laugh, that's why I would bottle that moment. That's the moment I want to bottle. And that not when they want to kill each other and they're flicking each other, or my boys are like 18 months apart and they just annoy the hell out of each other. But there are moments that I can hear them upstairs roaring with laughter. Usually, probably something to do with a really ridiculous TikTok video that they're watching.
Yeah.
Um, that they then want to come down and share with me, and I go, "What?
What?
Why is that funny? I don't get what you're
Seven.
laughing." Oh God, don't start, Sam. 6, 7. Oh, they try and make me say that. Like,
Ah,
can you do this? Can you, and if this and then that number, what are those two numbers, Mum? And I go, what, 6 and 7? They're like, oh, 6, 7. You did a post about that, Charlotte, didn't you?
yeah, my
Yeah.
boys haven't taken to that at all. It's weird. Yeah,
Oh,
some things they do, but they're just like, what is that about? It's not even funny. Why does everyone go on about it? I'm like, okay,
yeah.
don't know.
I would agree with that one.
Yeah.
Okay, you can choose now who goes first. I'm going to remove the demand. Um, which bit from this year would you happily leave behind in 2025?
Oh, don't let me go first.
Oh, parenting wise, I don't know. I mean, one very awkward conversation with the school. I could do without those phone calls. I mean,
Oh yeah.
just those school phone calls. In fact, the minute I see the school number on my phone, I'm just like, oh God, that sinking feeling.
It does that, doesn't it? Mine's the local
Oh,
authority as well. If the local authority send me an email, I go, whoop, like my stomach actually flips in my body.
yeah. And
Horrible.
even now that like our youngest moved to the high school and they haven't had to ring me for anything, like awful. And last week, over organising a trip, nothing bad, but that number came up on my phone and I straight away, I almost just didn't answer. I was like, I don't want, like, what if it's something bad? What if it's something bad?
Yeah.
And it's that like immediate, I guess, trauma response to like, I
Yeah.
don't want that.
Yeah. I know
Um,
mine's definitely a trauma response in relation to the local
yeah,
authority. Yeah.
When Lizzie started at this new school, they she was going in for our very first day, like just to go in and see what it was like. And I had only gone down the road to McDonald's to sit in the car park and wait. And the phone rang and it was the school. And instantly I felt sick. I felt
Yeah.
awful. And it was the head teacher ringing to say that I'm just letting you know, she's settling in, she's having a good time. I was like,
Don't do that to me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we would happily leave behind telephone calls from the school that are saying there's something wrong, and probably the local authority telling me there's always something wrong or they haven't done something. Um, okay. Yeah, this could be a tricky one. What's been the weirdest parenting win this year? And when I say weirdest, I mean like being untypical parents for us, it's like a massive win, but probably a more typical family would think, what?
so bra shopping last week.
Yeah.
We went bra shopping. Well, obviously, I'm not to be in the room with Lizzie while she's trying them on. She won't have somebody help. I can't get somebody to
Yeah,
go
yeah.
and fit out for them. So I'm standing outside the cubicle, talking her through it. How does it feel? How's this? How's this? And must have been doing such a good job that a lady in the next cubicle opened the door and said, "Excuse me, do you work here?" I went, "No." I went, "Oh," and I went, "Do you want me to get someone?" She went, "I just wanted you to check to see if this was fitting all right."
Please tell me you said no, Sam.
I did, but then afterwards, I did think I could have said £10 a jiggle.
Yeah. I love that. That's brilliant. That somebody comes out of their cubicle. Oh, Sam.
Like, I'm getting a gold star here.
That's brilliant. Oh, I've had to wipe my eyes. I've got mascara now. And oh dear. Have you got one? Have you got one, Charlotte?
I mean, I can't think of anything as good as that.
No, me neither.
Disappointing. I have to try harder. Ours tend to be silly things like, so our youngest has a very fiery temper and will tell people exactly what he thinks of them in that moment.
Mhm.
So as often like end up being conversations over the dinner table, like congratulating him when he's managed to just hold it back to like
Yeah.
only telling them to fuck off rather than also calling them XYZ, you know? And you're sat there thinking, I'm not really sure that this is okay. But it is an improvement if you've just called them, if you've just said fuck off rather than calling them fat or ugly or like it's tiny, but it is.
Yeah.
And like you say, a normal family, whatever the hell that is, would
Yeah.
probably be horrified that we're even having that conversation. But, you know, for him, that's huge.
Yeah. I think that's quite similar in our house, that we have to go through that. You did really well just to say whatever you said.
Yeah.
Maybe next time we could work a bit harder and maybe scale that bit back as well.
Yeah, it's
well
small
done for not saying the
steps.
rest.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I get that one. That's very, very true in our household. Okay, well, I don't know if I need to ask this question because I think we probably might know this, Sam. What's caused you to laugh so much this year that you have almost wet yourself? Has there something happened with the kids or in your parenting at a moment? Sam sounds like it was in a bra fitting shop.
I'm the clown. I just want to make her laugh whenever I can. So I'm standing outside the classroom where I know her and her friends can see us, and I'm like, I know that she's going to be embarrassed and laugh and it. But actually, one thing that did make me laugh, it's not parent related at all, but it was a reel on TikTok, and it was this bear walking up to a Halloween decoration in the garden,
Yeah.
and he touches it, and like it does this, "Rah!" and then the bear like falls backwards, and I just wet myself laughing for at least 20 minutes. Had to keep watching it. So
Sometimes TikTok is really great for that, isn't it? I mean, I kind of have this love-hate relationship with TikTok, but there is some very funny stuff on it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's usually some quite good entertainment in there at some point. Oh dear. What about you, Charlotte?
Ours tends to be like random tangent conversations. So, like, getting anything out of as to what's happened through their day is like really difficult. Like, I don't know if it's that they don't want to revisit it. I don't know if it's that they don't really remember. I don't know if it's just that they think school's quite boring, so why are you asking me about it? I've no idea. But getting any kind of information out of them, like, is impossible. So our top three questions tend to be, did anyone have a fight? Because we want to know the goss. Tell us
Okay.
any kind of fight or argument. We'll hear about it. And then if they've had science lessons, my husband will always ask them if it was anything to do with exploding anything. Did you get the opportunity to blow something up?
Brilliant.
And
Yeah.
they're always like, when are we ever going to get the chance to do that? Like, our science lessons are not that interesting. It doesn't involve explosives.
Oh, I think it did when we were younger.
I know, like,
We used to
yeah,
blow
different
stuff up all the
flames
time.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we just end up off on tangents and like
Yeah.
we'll be in hysterics. And then when you try and work back through the conversation, you're like, I don't even know how we ended up here.
Yeah.
Like, how did we get to talking about this?
There's always really random conversations, and we gave a lot of those that we start off in one place and we end up somewhere completely that you just think, how have we got there?
Yeah.
That's really weird how we've got there, but it feels quite normal and natural at the time, and we just kind of go with it and see what happens. But we had a moment yesterday. I was with my youngest, and he's been off school and stuff, so we've been trying to catch up. And I'm dyslexic, and not only does it affect letters and reading for me, it also does numbers. Maths blows my brains. I do not understand it. It just I don't understand it. And of course, my son is autistic, and he likes to know why all the time. What's the point?
Oh,
Why? So we're going through, and what was it? We were trying to do quadratic equations, but something to do with, I can't even remember, expanding them or something. And we got the giggles because this teacher's trying to teach it. He and I are just looking at each other, and we both turned around and went, but why? Why would you want to do that? You've taken something really succinct and you've now just made it bigger. Why would you want to do that? That's ridiculous. And we just had that moment of just, that's what bit I love, I suppose, is that when you get that moment where you're just laughing so
yeah.
hard together with somebody else. And when you can get that with the kids, I just love it.
I love all those little snippets that kind of build up over time. And so, like, you as a family will have hysterics over something that relates back to something from like months ago, and no one else even would really understand it. So, our youngest, like I said before, has this really fiery temper. And it's now become like an infamous moment in our in our family that before the summer we were chatting about how his day had gone, and he said that someone had upset him, and I was like, oh, and like, did you get cross about it? And he just turned around and dead seriously just went, I don't get angry. And all of us just, we couldn't help it, we just burst out laughing. And it's also proof of how far he's come, because he wouldn't have been able to cope with that like a year
Yeah.
ago, but now he can have a bit of a joke about himself. And so, like, now every time little things come up, we'll be like, yeah, but you don't get angry, do you? So that'll be okay, kind of thing. And it just makes everyone laugh still every time, because it was just so out of the blue. And he said it's so deadpan, like, I don't get angry. What are you on about? And we were all like, if there's one thing that's guaranteed with you, it is the anger. Like, we know. But I love those little things that just like you guys get, and it just makes you giggle every time.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Like an inside joke with the family.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I think they're the best. And often I say, I think if people looking in could see what we're talking about, they would just, well, I don't know what they would think. I try not to think about it.
We have one from when I was a kid and we were on holiday, and we're in a little like a trinket shop, a souvenir.
Yeah.
And there was, for some reason, my mum picked up this little naked boy. It's just like a little naked statue. And she's like, oh, a naked boy, and picked him up. He was attached by a rope to a donkey, and she dropped it and it smashed. So my dad obviously went and paid for it. The man was very kind. He didn't want the money, but dad insisted. But from that, so I must have been 12 or something. Every time, like, I just want to make mum and dad laugh, I just start singing Little Donkey. Because it just takes us back to that moment. Oh, a naked boy.
And it's nice to have those little moments, I think, especially when we know when we're going through tough times as a family, that just to remind ourselves that there are some really amazing, funny, brilliant bits that I wouldn't change for the world. I know there are some bits that I would change. Often it's our experiences of things rather than the people themselves. I wouldn't change my kids or me, but it's really nice to have those moments that make you just go, do you know what? Our life is pretty cool. And actually, I don't know whether I want to swap it. Their life looks a bit boring, actually. Right, my next bit is, I don't know whether your kids ever did this one with you. My kids used to drive me nuts with this one, so I thought I'd, do the same to you, obviously. They used to play this game with me, Would You Rather?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I've got a couple of Would You Rathers just to see what your responses are. Okay. And I've lost my clicker and it's not right. That's I won't remember them. Right. Would you rather have a week alone in the house, but you can't go out, or have a cleaner for a week?
Cleaner.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah, mine's a cleaner.
100% cleaner.
Yeah.
But I would need an organizer first. Like, I need someone to sort all the crap so that
Yeah.
then the cleaner could do a really good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't stay in my house a whole week.
Yeah. Not with the fact that how much
Absolutely
running
not.
you need to do. No, okay, right. Next one. Would you rather swap lives for the day with your partner or with one of your kids?
With one of the kids. I'd swap my date with Jacob
Why?
because he's doing tap and he's doing ballet and I mean,
Love it.
he might not be happy at my moves or my singing, but it's so
That
much
looks like fun. Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah. What about you, Charlotte? Who would you swap
I
with?
think I'd want to swap with one of the kids. I think I want to know what I'd love to be inside their brains.
Mm, that's what I'd like.
Yeah. Just
My
to
el-
know how they experience the world and what, yeah,
Mm.
that'd be fascinating.
My eldest, no diagnosis. Um, he has this brain that is like a steam train, like it sets off at 100 million miles an hour, as does his speech. And it's often quite hard to follow. So the track of where he's talking
Mm.
ping off. So you can't even predict where he's going. And he will get to the end, and even sometimes along the way, he'll go to me, "What was I talking about?" Because he's completely lost track of where he's going. And I wouldn't want to stay there for very long, but I would like to get inside his head and think, where did that come from? The stuff that comes out of his head.
Yeah.
It's like a stream of consciousness and the most random facts that you've just thought, where have you got that bit of information from? And his brain amazes me. It fascinates
Yeah.
me what goes on in there. I think I'd swap with my eldest for a bit.
Yeah.
Yours is
I'd
one of the
take any
kids.
of my three. Yeah, I
Yeah.
would love to. Yeah.
We were listening to a podcast the other day, me and Lizzie. It was a crime podcast because we're quite like that. And in the podcast, they were talking about how when somebody's listening to a story or watching a film or whatever, they can put themselves into. Sorry, somebody knocked at my door.
It's all right. If it's going to happen anywhere, it's going to happen in here, Sam. It's fine.
You mind if I go and get it?
No, it's absolutely
I'll just
fine.
do 1 second. But you're going to be wondering what I'm going to say.
Yeah, we're waiting now.
We're
You're gonna-
waiting. We're just
you're
going to
gonna-
wait. We're not
Sam
going to
just-
talk.
And all you see in the background as well, Sam just unravelled herself from a whole range of blankets.
It wasn't even something for me.
Oh,
Oh, boring.
right
So-
then, Sam. Let's
Right.
talk about this podcast.
So they were talking about how people view a story, whether they view it in the first person or they're just watching it like you were watching a program.
Yeah.
And Lizzie told me that she is the person in the story. So that's quite traumatic for somebody
Yeah.
when they're listening to, especially a crime podcast.
Yeah.
They're the person, they're either the murderer or the person who's being murdered, the victim, or both.
Wow.
So she really gets into. So it is funny how people's brains work differently. So
Yeah.
Does she get really scared by them, Sam?
no, she loves them.
Okay. I'm not very good with the crime stuff. I can watch it if I know it's not real. It's when it starts to get a bit real that I'm like, yeah, no, I don't like this. Bit scary. Okay, next one. Would you rather no one ever asked, Mum, where's whatever? Mine's usually where's my school uniform, or have someone sort and make dinner every night?
Oh, dinner.
Yeah.
Would you see? I would. The mum wears whatever.
Oh, no, the dinner.
Dinner.
Like, it's the thinking and the planning and making sure you've got everything to make a flipping meal. Like, the actual cooking isn't too bad, and often Chris will do it anyway. But I'm the one that has to do the thought
Yeah.
of what are we having and have we got what we need, or where am I going to get that from? When am I going to stop during the day to get it or whatever? And I hate that. It's so boring.
Do you plan it? I'm one of those. Like the
Oh.
kids are usually going, Mum, are we having tea tonight? And I'm opening the fridge going, I've got fish fingers, some lettuce, and we've got a bit of garlic bread. Want that? Not all the time, everyone. I do feed them properly. Um, what about you, Sam? What would you
Well,
rather?
definitely dinner.
Sort dinner.
We've got a little running joke in the house that I've got a superpower that so when I say that it's somewhere, they go, no, it's not. It's not. And then even if I don't know it's there, like Lizzie's headphones in the summer holidays, she wouldn't go out because she couldn't find her headphones. And I went, they'll be in your school bag. They're not. I've checked. So Jacob gave her his, and she said, no, don't want them. I had another set, so I gave her them. No, I don't want them. So everything was cancelled. Me and her weren't going out. Jacob and Wednesday and my dad went out. And 10 minutes later, I got a message from her. I found them. They were in my school bag. I'm like, fantastic. Just
Yeah.
listen to me.
I think I have that ability too, but I think my kids are really messy. No, that's not fair. My youngest isn't messy. My eldest is really messy. So it's often him. My youngest knows where everything is most of the time. It's my eldest. He has no idea where anything. Mum, where are my pants? Where's my bag? I don't know. I wasn't wearing them. What did you do with them? You know? All right. Okay. Would you rather step on Lego barefoot or have to listen to YouTube shorts in the background for hours?
Oh. I'll just move out. I'm not doing that.
Neither.
One of the
Yeah,
first
I'm tapping
videos
out.
One of
Sorry.
the first videos I saw of Charlotte was her sorting through Lego.
Yes.
Mounds of it, mounds and mounds, and I was like,
Yeah,
"You've got the patience."
yeah. That, do you know what? That lasted about 10 days because they were interested in making money off reselling it. Then it all got scooped into a box, or more than one box actually, and those boxes are still on top of our TV unit. And every now and then, as I'm sat on the sofa, I look at them and think, shit, I should really do something with all that. Because that's like over a year ago now, I think.
Yeah.
But, you
Yeah,
know,
I remember that video too, Sam with Charlotte. So if Lego. Right.
but I don't want to
Okay.
step on it.
No. So Charlotte's going, she's moving out. She's not having either. Okay. What about you, Sam?
Listen to the YouTube shorts.
You'd
Ooh,
rather listen to those or get rid
yeah,
of
we'll
them.
listen. Well, I'll go with that rather than stand. Oh, there's nothing worse than like it's like standing on a plug. Oh,
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that's horrible.
yeah.
Okay. Last two. Would you rather your brain stopped overthinking at night time or that you remember every appointment without having to write it down?
is
Can
it
you see,
possible for
can
you?
you see what
Is it
happens in my life?
possible for your brain to stop overthinking, though? Is that actually a thing?
People
Does
tell me
anyone
it
do
is,
that?
Charlotte. They tell me it is. I don't know.
Some people don't have an inner monologue.
I
This
don't.
blows my. Don't you?
I don't have a voice. No, I I had this realization that other people do during COVID actually, and I had many conversations with different friends, like literally ringing them up, like, "Do you have a voice in your head?" And everyone being like, "What are you on about? We haven't seen anyone for weeks. What are you talking about?" No, but it doesn't mean my brain's quiet.
Right.
I have songs, I have pictures, I have like moving images, but I don't have, yeah, like I don't have a thing that talks to me.
Okay, but still busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really busy. Okay. So if we could quieten the busy, would you
Mm.
prefer less busy in your brain or that you could
Or
remember every
actually remembering
appointment?
stuff.
Yeah. I never remember. I've got 3 calendars and I still forget.
Well, my phone's just done a crazy thing today and wiped everything out of my calendar, so all of my appointments are gone.
Oh
Actually,
no.
that would
I'm gonna
terrify
go.
me.
I'm gonna go with remembering things, remembering appointments.
Yeah, that's going to help you today, right in this moment. Sam's needing that one. Okay.
I think I would go with that one because I can't actually imagine like, what a totally quiet brain would be like. I don't know that I'd like it.
Yeah. No, I think
So
I'm
I
good.
think I'd go with appointments.
And I
Yeah.
get quite worried about missing stuff. So I think for me, the memory bit is
Yeah.
being able to remember everything and not have to look at 3 different calendars and making sure I've got it in every single calendar and not just have put it in one, which happens quite a lot. Okay, last one. Would you rather be able to teleport anywhere or pause time for a nap?
Oh, teleport. Because
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have a
too.
nap anyway. Even if there's
Yeah.
not time, I'll just have a nap.
I
But
quite like
teleporting would be
teleport.
amazing.
Yeah. What about you, Sam?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, teleporting. Like,
Teleporting.
never once have I ever thought, I wish I didn't need to have a nap.
Yeah.
But
Never ever have I.
I always think, oh, I wish I didn't need to drive there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Teleporting would be quite cool, wouldn't it?
Plus, it
Yeah.
would save you loads of time, so then you'd have time for the naps.
You could, yeah,
Exactly.
schedule them in whilst you're in the
Yeah,
teleporter. Like
exactly.
Doctor
Yeah.
Who.
Yeah.
Yeah. My son loves Doctor Who. And I often
Yeah.
think, "Oh, I quite like a TARDIS.
We're Hoovians.
Yeah.
We're definitely big Hoovians in
Oh,
this.
are you?
Yeah. So this room, which is now which is Jacob's room, I've kind of taken over since he's moved out. It used to be your TARDIS when he was younger. We had the walls all hexagons, and the door
Oh,
was a TARDIS door, and every single
Amazing.
bit. I mean, I don't know where anybody would have thought he was going to be an actor from. Like, I don't know where that would have come from. Every day he was dressed up as a different doctor.
did he go all the way back? 'Cause like my son goes back right to the black and white, the
Oh, yeah.
first ever Doctor Who's, and he can list all the episodes of all the series.
Don't know
Just
whether
from the
he'd be
top of his
that good, but he's pretty. Got old ones and the new ones. He used to say to me when he was little, because he's got beautiful thick hair, and he'd say to me, "Mum, I want to be Christopher Eccleston today. Can I have my hair off?" And I go, "No," and would have a big tantrum about it. And he'd be like, "Why? Why can you'll not just let me shave my head?" No, because tomorrow, darling, you'll want to be Matt Smith.
Yeah. And he's got long hair.
Yes.
Okay, end of Would You Rather, you might be pleased to hear.
That was
Um,
fun.
just to kind of start to wrap it up, is to if you were to describe this year in terms of anything, doesn't have to just be parenting, but just this year in general for you, what 3 words would you use to sum up this year for you?
Oh.
And this could be about you personally, as a person or as a parent, whatever.
Exciting,
Yeah,
scary,
yeah,
and can I just say love?
yeah. Yeah, you can, Sam.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah. Okay. I think mine would be exciting, challenging, adventurous.
Like
Ooh,
adventurous, that's a good one.
okay. I think mine would be bumpy. I think exciting again, like you two. Exciting. And then I can't put it into one word because I think that's my dyslexia and I go, no, I can't find a word. Um, but mine's kind of like, it's almost kind of proving to myself I can do something that I thought I couldn't. I don't know whether there's a word for that. You guys might come up with a word. But that kind of, yeah, I can do this. Like riding my motorbike's been amazing. And
Yeah.
learning to ride a motorbike and doing something that I thought I couldn't do. Okay. Right. All that leaves me to say is thank you both so much for coming on. I've really enjoyed it. Do you know what? My face is actually hurting from smiling. And I need you to go away so I can actually let that go. Um, stop the pain that is now on top and the sides of my head. Thank you both ever so much for coming on. Thank you for being massive supporters of the podcast. I couldn't have done it without the pair of you. I appreciate your support in every which way that you have provided it. And here's to another year of doing it differently.
Thanks.
Thank you. Congratulations on a year of the podcast.
Thanks, Sam.
Yeah. That's
Thank you.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thank you, guys. I'm going to turn you off. Let me